just tiny, easy thing. So we're going to start with what is a fable, because we're going to try and write our own fable. Ben screen faced me. And it's going to be a funny fable, but we're going to start with what do fables normally look like? These are a specific kind of creative writing. They're mostly a short story, but there is a difference between fables and other kinds of short stories. So a fable specifically is a short story that has a lesson learned. That's part of a fable always, that the whole point of the story is to teach someone something. Eden, just make sure, is your phone away over there, bud? Make sure your phone, okay. Also, the other thing that almost always makes it a fable is some or all of the characters are animals. So I'm going to show you examples here in just a second. I think it's good knowledge that, this might impress a future ELA teacher. The creative writer who first came up with the idea of fables, his name is right here. He was a Greek writer. His name was Aesop, and that's why it's spelled kind of crazy, is because that's Greek. And Aesop lived a really, really long time ago, but fables were made famous because of him. He wrote a lot of them. So let's kind of get our brain wrapped around. If any of you know the YouTuber, Odd Ones Out, he does funny videos, and he's going to talk about fables. So
I'm just going to get right into the meat of this topic. I love reading fables. If you weren't paying attention in 10th grade English, a fable is a short story, usually with talking animals that have a moral at the end of them. A good way to remember is that the word fable starts with an F, and so does autobiography. This one's a fable creating a bunch of fables. He's written over 655, and seriously, I don't know why for some reason we can't find the exact number. How many fables has he written? Over 655! Oh, so 656? What's the range here? Unfortunately, he has died, so he won't be writing any more fables. So why can't we get the exact number? What the heck, guys? And he also had a very strong no photo policy, so no pictures of him were ever taken, because he was born around 500 BC. I don't even think he knew what a camera was, so... Here we go, this is what he supposedly looked like. And what I like most about fables is that the wording is so, Shakespearean and old-timey, and it makes you feel like you're smart for reading these short paragraph-long stories. And even better, they have a moral at the end of them, so once you're done reading, you're like, oh man, that was deep. Every single fable can end with one character dropping a microphone.
So true.
The whole story is just build up to that one moral moment. Okay, so I'm going to read some of my favorite fables to you guys. I'm not going to read them how Aesop wrote them, though.
I want to be clear, he's trying to make this funny, right? So he purposely said his name wrong. It's technically Aesop.
He had so many unnecessary smart-sounding words when really all of his fables could be shortened down to 3 sentences. So here we go, Aesop's fables in my own words.
Belling the cat.
So there's these mice that get together and they're trying to come up with a plan to get this cat to stop killing them. And one mouse is like, oh, we could put a bell around the cat, so now we could hear it or something. And this other mouse is like, yeah, alright, yeah, that's cool. Who's going to put the bell on? Okay, so this one's kind of actually stupid. I don't really know what the moral is. Maybe no one wants to be the person to sacrifice themselves for the good of humanity, or...
Now, the reason I'm showing you this is to, number one, help you understand what a fable is, but also, we're going to be writing our own fable, so you can be thinking about how can I be inspired by this ridiculousness.
Sanity or... Okay, here's my version of the rest of that story. So after the mouse said that, the other mouse goes, oh geez, other mouse, you're right, I didn't think of that. Well, I guess I say we all grab our toothpicks and kill the cat. At least that ending made sense. A bell? How about you poison it? Or move somewhere where there's not a cat in the first place?
The horse and the groom.
So there's this horse and a groom, which is not the wedding kind, it's an actual groomer, who just calls himself a groom. So this groom spends all this time brushing the horse and making it look pretty, and he also takes some of the horse's oats and sells it for extra cash. Okay, stop right there. Aren't oats supposed to be really cheap? Isn't that a thing? Okay, so the horse is getting malnourished and says, you should really stop worrying about brushing me, and more about feeding me. Man, that's deep, I think. The moral is, don't steal your horse's oats. Especially if it talks, you will never hear the end of it. The farmer with the goose with the golden eggs. So there's this farmer, and he somehow gets a goose that lays golden eggs. And now you might be thinking, what's with all these gooses that lay golden eggs? Jack and the Beanstalk did it. The Simpleton Brothers did it. Well, did you know that this is the very first time a goose laying golden eggs has ever appeared in writing? I actually don't know if that's true. I made it up. I mean, it might be true. I don't know. It's 500 BC, you guys. It was a long time ago. And the goose only lays 1 egg a day. And the farmer gets greedy and wants more eggs. So he thinks, oh, I bet all the eggs are inside the goose. So he chops up the goose, and guess what? There's only more goose parts in there, not eggs. Okay, so the moral, know how basic things work, especially if you're a farmer and you don't know how geese work, or at least be close friends with someone who knows this. Hey man,
Like, the moral on that story is actually don't be greedy. Now, I feel like that's enough examples, but if you are enjoying this ridiculousness, we can finish. So you tell me, yes or no, do you want to finish? Okay.
I don't think that's how geese work. I mean, I get how you might think this is a magic goose because everything about this is physically impossible, but we could already live pretty decent lives with just 1 egg a day. Like, we're already in the top 1% now. How can a goose carry around a golden egg inside of itself? Do you know how heavy gold is? If there's solid gold, can a goose ever have babies? This seems like an evolutionary dead end to me. The bat and the weasels. So there once was this bat, and he fell. Somehow. Aesop never really says how it fell. It's a bat. It can fly. Okay, so the bat gets caught by a weasel. Like one of these things? Okay, so you're saying that a bat gets caught by a weasel.
I don't know why. I love this picture so much. Like, just imagining a little weasel just, like, nomming on a bat. I think it's so funny. Okay.
Because he fell. Whatever, okay. So the weasel says, I am an enemy to all birds, and I'm going to eat you. And the bat goes, I'm not a bird, I'm a mouse. Oh, what are these things that look like wings? Oh, these? That's my blanket, because I'm cold. Okay, that part wasn't in the story. So the weasel lets him go, but then it happens again with a different weasel, and this weasel says, I am an enemy to mice, and I'm going to eat you. And the bat goes, oh, tiny weasel, but I'm not a mouse. I'm a bird. And then he lets him go. Again. Sometimes Aesop wrote the moral you're supposed to take at the end. He did it with this one, and the moral verbatim is, look and see which
I also want to point out something. So he just was making a joke, but it goes over a lot of people's head. He said the moral verbatim, which is purposely mispronounced. What he actually was meaning was verbatim. And when you say you are quoting something verbatim, it means you're quoting it word for word. I should have said this, I'm so sorry. Creative Writing 3, remember, this is like, you're allowed to pick and choose, right? You are allowed if you want to do your own thing instead of the fable, that's allowed. Okay,
the wind blows before you commit yourself. So are you saying to follow the crowd? Like, go with the flow? That's not really a good moral, Aesop. Also, why didn't the bat just say, I'm a bat, losers, and I can fly? Later, it's also teaching you to make up lies on the spot that contradict your first lie. That's how you get caught lying. Okay, so last fable, the fox and the crow. So this crow has a piece of cheese in her beak, and this fox comes along and is like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, I just love your feathers. I wish I could just hear you sing. This crow is now very flattered, and she goes to sing, and then the cheese falls out of her mouth, and the fox eats it. And then the last line, this is beautiful, the fox says, you have a voice, madam. I see. What you want is wits. Moral of the story, everyone wants to steal your cheese. Don't let your guard down for a second. That would be a good tip.
Though, right? Like, the crow got tricked. And so really the moral of the story is be smarter, but they used it in a euphemism. Okay, last funny part. You can start thinking about your You Try box, everybody.
T-shirt design, like it would say, everyone wants to steal your cheese, and then it would have like a silhouette of a fox and a crow. Someone make that t-shirt. I'll buy it.
Okay, now, just to make it incredibly clear, because it is part of your grade, I'm going to show you 30 seconds of what is a moral, because it's a pretty debatable term. And so just a little bit here. If we are saying that the whole point of a fable is to teach a moral, got to make sure we understand that.
Morals. Morals are the prevailing standards of behavior that enable people to live cooperatively in groups. Moral refers to what society sanctions as right and acceptable. Most people tend to act morally and follow societal guidelines. Morality often requires that people sacrifice their own short-term interests for the benefit of society.
So, like, ideas of right and wrong, which are debatable, right? You shouldn't kick someone when they're down. You should help people even if you don't know them, right? Like, these are ideas of morals.
People or entities that are indifferent to right and wrong are considered amoral, while those who do evil acts are considered immoral. While some moral principles seem to transcend time and culture, such as fairness, generally speaking, morality is not fixed. Morality describes the particular values of a specific group at a specific point in time.
Like, morals in 2025 are maybe a lot different than morals were in the 1700s, right? The idea of right and wrong can change. Okay, would anybody be willing, just in case other people were stuck, did anybody have a good you try box example? Ollie. Tortoise and the hare, but it's on the examples, so now we have to do a different one. Although you are correct. But yes, that is a popular example of a fable. Knox. Jack and the Beanstalk, I would say, yeah. And I would say that's a weird one where, like, almost always you'll have talking animals at some point, but not always. But it is kind of normal. Okay, Cecilia. Yeah, good. Okay, that's enough. So, then, let me stop.